Here you see the director of the UBS bank. He's crying. This bank is being decimated in Switzerland. Many of its employees have to be laid off, about 7,800, and another 1,000, I believe, in the US. And people that have been fired from this bank cannot even leave the country for fear of being arrested outside it. But I don't think the main culprit is in Switzerland. I think the main culprit is in the US, because it was the US-based companies like the rating agencies that rated packages of derivatives in a way that was totally untrue. It was just not fair. So they were sold to these banks, the UBS and other banks, of course also banks in Holland and in Belgium and in France, and they turned out to be worthless. That turned out to be a big fraud, totally counterfeit derivatives. And on top of that, the US pushed internationally for opening up the banking secrecy, which doesn't work because, first of all, these new bank secrecy laws or the tax haven laws that people are so happy about, so enthusiastic about, only mean that when the government investigates a tax haven, this tax haven is supposed to comply. Now the OECD list has a long list of people, of countries, of territories that have said they would comply but have never done so. And I recently talked to somebody that was on Guernsey. It's an England, UK tax haven, one of these Channel Islands. And he told me that he spoke to a judge telling him, again, that whenever such a request comes from the US, from the UK government, the local judge usually turns that request down. So there is no tax haven transparency now. There's only kind of, a superficial sense of justice for citizens that read the paper and don't think about it for 1 second. But the injustice is just gargantuan, because already in the UK they are announcing that they have to make huge budget cuts. They have to stop doing all kinds of stuff as a government. They have to raise taxes, and they will have to raise taxes in the US too. That's all completely unnecessary if we would just say goodbye to this type of people. These crying people that were so nice. And this article is a Swiss newspaper article, talks about how kind this man is, how quiet. I don't give a damn how quiet he is. He's been robbing us. And the US also. You know, you may think Bernanke is a nice furry animal with his beard, and then he looks very sad, and Geithner has the same type of vulnerable look. Well, just kick him out of office. I'm totally done with this whole process, because the result will be also for me in the Dutch economy, we're not out of the wind at all. We have this government that doesn't know anything about the economy, and that asks advice from economists who keep on saying, you know, the stimulus package will work, just stimulate more and more and more and more. And that's complete bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. And every sane person, every normal working person can make up his mind in a second and think, you know, you're not going to create money out of thin air. You're not going to give it to people that have been making mistakes for years and years and years and been cheating us blind. You're not going to do that. Why would we do that? So again, at the end of this video, I will once again call for a boycott against people in the banking industry. You know, if you have a banker that has received a bailout, and you can be quite sure of that, of course, you can make up your mind and find the information you need. You know what this guy has gotten from you. Instead of, or along with paying more taxes, which you will have to, you can make life very expensive for this person. Just charge more if it's a banker, and you'll feel some satisfaction then, because you're making the money back, and you'll be forcing a trickle-down process that should have happened a long time ago. And even what's his name, Donald Trump is on your side. He says the banks are not lending. They should be lending, but they're not. And they're not, should be maybe not if they're not lending, make sure that they're spending.